So now we are going to skim and scan. In other words, we're going to speed read our way through this topic. And the first thing I always do is I have a quick flick through the topic to pick out the headings. And the first heading is early years. So I put a number 1 there. Number 2 is college. Number 3 is rise to prominence. Number 4 is influences. Number 5 is King's voice. Number 6 is Nobel Prize. I underline Nobel. And the 7th is death. Now we're moving fast. Now I start to skim and scan, and how I do this is I take my pen and I literally push my pen underneath the lines of the words, and this way this helps me speed up reading by following my pen. Let's have a look. Martin Luther King was born, so follow me, in Atlanta in 1929. His father was a minister, of Ebenezer Baptist Church. They spent every Sunday listening to his forceful sermons. Segregation laws kept blacks and whites separate and supported whites in their treatment of blacks as inferior. King enjoyed books and learned to recite passages from the Bible, so I underline books and Bible. King went to Morehouse College. Let's have a look. One of the leading black colleges in the country. At first he wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer, but realized he could improve the lives of black people more by being a minister. He attended Boston University, where he was introduced to music student Coretta Scott. They fell in love and married in 1953. Let's push on to rise to prominence. He joined the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. In 1954, he became pastor of Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama. 1955, a black woman called Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on a bus to a white man and was arrested. Black leaders decided to organize a boycott of the bus. King was now president of the MIA, the Montgomery Improvement Association, which led the boycott and took a successful case to the Supreme Court. I'm pushing on to influences. In 1957, he formed the SCLC to mobilize moral authority and leadership of black churches behind non-violent campaigns for civil rights. He was influenced by the German theologian Reinhold Niebuhr, who said that evil could not be overcome by reason but must be confronted. The non-violent campaign of Gandhi against British rule in India also inspired him. King's voice. He was a powerful speaker. His skillful rhetoric, moderate goals, and courage and insistence on non-violence built a powerful coalition of poor and prosperous black people with white liberal sympathizers, including Christian and Jewish leaders. On the morning of the 28th of August 1963, nearly 250,000 people swarmed around the Lincoln Memorial in Washington. King stepped forward to deliver his famous "I Have a Dream" speech. So then we push on to Nobel Prize. The movement successfully forced a reluctant federal government to enact civil rights legislation to enforce it in the South. In 1964, he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Norway. I'm going to push on to death. He was in Memphis supporting a strike of rubbish collectors when on the 4th of April 1968, he was shot dead on the balcony of his hotel, and his killer was James Earl Ray, who was a Nazi sympathizer. And when I look at that, there's probably, and I count up these number of words, there's probably roughly around 40 keywords on that page. So we've taken a 400-word article, we've narrowed it down to 40 keywords, and this is how we skim and scan.